Left and right, everywhere you looked on the first day of the White House Tribal Nations Summit, there were tribal leaders. This event, sometimes nicknamed the Super Bowl of Native Politics, kicked off on the last day of Native American Heritage Month. The Department of Interior estimates officials from over 300 federally recognized tribes were in attendance for the summit. It started with the first Native American cabinet opening the space.
As the United States works to honor our trust and treaty responsibilities to protect tribal sovereignty and revitalize tribal communities, we must also protect access to resources for subsistence and cultural and spiritual practices. It is by acknowledging and empowering tribes as partners in the co-stewardship of our country's lands and waters that every American will benefit from strengthened management of federal lands and resources.
Now, there were 5 armchair conversation panels on the day, starting with education and native languages, next about mental health, then access to capital and economic development. And after those panels, President Joe Biden made an appearance to give remarks.
Respect for indigenous knowledge and tribal consultations as a key part of the federal agency decision-making. Respect means we'll defend tribal sovereignty and self-government and self-determination, and will support tribal economy and keep fighting for better tribal health care, child care, education, housing, public safety, and so much more.
The remaining panels featured topics like tribal homeland initiatives, climate, and clean energy. After that, Vice President Kamala Harris talked about the issues, including an emphasis on the Indian Child Welfare Act.
Native children were torn away from their families and their communities. These acts were not only violations of basic human rights for those children and their families, but also an attack on the very existence of tribal nations. I am fully aware of the essential protection that ICWA provides.
Now, aside from those officials, many of the president's cabinet were also in attendance. ICT will keep up with the coverage from this year's summit. Reporting in Washington, D.C., Dacoda McDowell-Wahpekeche, ICT News.